Hey there everyone, I am Peppino, back for the third episode of our Kerbal Space Program series, and the launch of the Kerbnik 3, which is hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, going to be in orbit around Minimus, the second moon of planet Kerbin. So here we go, launching in 3, 2, 1. Also, I have made a few changes to the design that should make the second stage of this much more stable. So that's a good thing. We'll zoom out here so we can not be drowned out by the engines firing. But yeah, so I've made the second stage much more stable. I realized what I was doing wrong. I was using some engines that don't really help you control the craft at all, which was the problem that I was having. So there's the moon. We have the Kerbnik 2 orbiting around the moon. Kerbnik 1 is orbiting Kerbin. And this one, hopefully, will be in orbit around Minimus. Let's set that as our target right away. And then we'll come back to that later. So there is our orbit. And now we will wait. We're going to keep just aiming straight up, basically. And once we get out there, then we'll adjust our orbit to hopefully interact with Minimus. And we can get caught up in its gravitational pull and form an orbit. This is definitely going to be the most difficult of the missions we've done so far because Minimus is tiny and has a very, very small gravitational pull, so this is going to be a lot harder than the other missions we've had. So, fingers crossed that it is successful. Hopefully, this will work, and we can control this craft now. Come on. Alright, this is definitely much easier to control than the last one. It's still a little wobbly when we first separate the first two stages, but after that it is much easier to control. And now we can throttle up, and hopefully that'll stay on target like that. And we can try and set up an interaction with Minimus, which is way out there past the moon. And there's the moon, and there's Minimus. That little tiny dot, I believe, is Minimus at least. Yep, looks like it. You can see it there. So that's awesome. That is our target. So we gotta get our apoapsis all the way out there. And let's just zoom out here. Now, Minmus has a very different orbit from the moon. It's not flat, so that could make it more of a challenge as well. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. But either way, hopefully we can figure this all out. Let's see here. Hopefully we have enough fuel to do this. I would think we should. That's starting to increase a lot faster now. We should have plenty of fuel to do it. I've added more fuel, actually, for this launch. But we're definitely going to need a new design, I think, if we're going to be sending anything into deep space. space, orbiting around planets like Duna or Eve, which are the other planets closest to Kerbin, which would be like Mars and Venus in real life. And so, we'll zoom out here and take a look. This is what our solar system looks like. And right now we are focusing our entire operations within this little area. We've got the whole solar system to eventually experiment with. So hopefully we can do that at some point. Alright. Now, this is going to be interesting. Oh, slow down there for a second. Was that a moon encounter or minimus? I couldn't quite tell. It looked like it was probably the moon, but I might as well try and figure it out, because we don't want to miss an encounter possibility, because there was two of them. I thought one of them was the moon, but the second one may have been minimus, so we'll see. So we gotta aim this way now. And yeah, this is much easier to control than the last one. So this is actually doing well. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Oh, we missed it again. Oh. Alright, so we're real close to an encounter with something. There's an encounter with the moon, but that's not what we want. We want an encounter with Minimus, which is going to be much more difficult to get. And at this point, we're on a trajectory to leave Kerbin's gravity. So let's see here. Let's just set up this so that we're not leaving Kerbin's gravity. We're going to orbit it. Again, that's what we need. Like that. And then once we get out near our apoapsis, we can try set it up to be an actual orbit. So let's speed up time a bit here. And once we get out around Minimus's orbit, we will do a burn to hopefully get more of a large orbit around the planet that will eventually intersect with Minimus. Alright. Be careful here. Alright, and then we're coming basically to a stop, which at that point is when we're going to need to burn like this, and then we should be able to form an orbit. Just like this. And now Let's speed that up. Just like that. Oh, alright. Now we want to zoom out. And we are close enough. See, here is where our orbit will cross the orbit of Minimus. So now, basically, what I'm going to try to do is just orbit Kerbin a couple times until those two come close to each other, like that. But they need to be a little closer yet. Alright, now what I'm going to want to do is actually, I'll go one more time around to see. Alright, they're going to be right there. Now, the target is going to be too far ahead of me. So I need to get here faster, which actually means that what I'm going to have to do is turn around and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not without bringing my periapsis too close to Kerbin. It's going to be a problem. I'm actually going to wait here and try and get this to be on this side. Basically, what you got to do is just get it to where you're gonna be able to burn and bring this marker right next to that marker. So let's hope that the next time around it's closer. Nope, it's still there. Alright, well, we'll try this. When I get to here, I'm going to do a burn to try and change my orbit around here a little bit and just do minor adjustments until I can get a decent chance at an encounter. So, the reason I'm burning here is because this is where our orbits meet and I don't want this changed. I want to make sure I'm going to stay in this position in my orbit because that's where I need to be to have an encounter. So if we just do this and burn a little bit without leaving Kerbin's gravity, you can see now the target position is changing. And now hopefully next time it'll be close to where it needs to be. Yep, terrific, absolutely perfect, perfectly placed. So this time around we're gonna have an encounter with Minimus, and it's gonna be a real short one, so we gotta make sure not to miss it. So I'm gonna zoom in here. Alright. Now we got a while until we get there, so we can warp time a little more. So like that. And once we get there, we're gonna have to slow ourselves down a bunch, which hopefully won't be too bad. See, there's Minimus. Alright. Oh, our periapsis is actually very, very close to Minimus already. Like, incredibly close. So what we're gonna need to do is Huh. This is gonna be a challenge. Well, I could do, if I do this. Nope, that's the opposite of what we want. Alright. Gotta turn the ship around here. Let's see. Now this is gonna take a little bit. So I'm gonna just cut this out real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm running into is essentially any burn I do is bringing the periapsis even closer. So what I'm gonna have to do is just wait till I get to the periapsis and then do a burn, and hope that I can avoid falling into and landing on Minimus, because that would be bad. That's not what you want out of a satellite. So once I get to the periapsis, I'll burn and try bring this orbit around. Alright, so let's set up right there. Good enough. And our periapsis is real low. We're really close to Minimus right now. We'll check that in a second on the camera. You'll see how close we are. Like, I'm talking like that close. So. And this is bringing our periapsis down, but slowly enough where hopefully we can get an orbit first. Alright, we need to get an orbit pretty quickly here around Minimus, because this periapsis is dangerously close. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. And now, as long as we have a stable orbit and we're not going to crash into it, having it this close is probably a good thing. I can aim more directly towards where we're facing now. Got a little off track there, probably when the stage is separated, but it didn't end up mattering. So we'll bring this down actually really close as well, so we'll have another thing closely orbiting Minimus. We don't want to be too close all the time, I don't think. So I'll leave this one not at 16,000. I'll leave it. Ooh, this. Alright. This is getting pretty close, but should be fine right around there. That'll be good enough for me. I'm happy with that, and we have plenty of fuel left where we can always come and fix this if we need to. So let's see here how close we're actually getting. This is really close. Like, we're very close to Minimus. Let's check out what it actually looks like. It's really hilly, and those look like frozen lakes there, which is cool. That'd be a good spot for a lander if we do land on here ever. But it's nice to have a satellite orbiting it, because now we know that. I could have checked the wiki, but I can show you guys that by seeing this here. So now we do know what Minimus looks like, and it looks like that. And there is Kerbin and the moon, and here we are, way out here, and we're reaching probably the farthest point of our orbit right now. And then we will go back around. We can go around a couple times just to see if we see anything interesting. Oh wow, that is really close. Wow. We are so close that when we pass over a tall mountain, we're almost hitting it. I don't know how far away we actually were, but we were real close to actually hitting that. Let's stop this here. Let's actually see if we can get that to be not quite so close. That's dangerously close. We'll bring it out just maybe to 20,000 or so. I would feel more comfortable with it there. Alright, let's see here. Alright. There we go. Now we have a much better orbit around Minimus. So this was a successful third mission, and we are 3 for 3 now, which is pretty good. And we'll just say goodbye to Minimus here, and we can come back to it later. Now that we have this satellite orbiting it, we can observe it whenever we need to. And where's Kerbin again? Take one more look at that. And then I will call this video here. And so this was definitely our most challenging mission, but we were able to pull it off. There's Kerbin. Alright, well, say goodbye to Kerbin for this video, and we will see you guys next time with our next mission. Thanks for watching.